Hey everybody. I have I haven't streamed for a while. We haven't streamed since Halloween, so 21 days ago, 22 days ago. And I haven't streamed Paint Stream for at least another week or so about that. Hey Time Roller, I am definitely trying to get everything. We have a lot of, you know, we don't use this stuff to stream anything. Hey, I got two things going here. Too many tabs. But yeah, we don't, you know, we don't use it for enough stuff, so we're having fun tech issues, batteries, all kinds of stuff. But we just got back on Tuesday from, today's Thursday, right? Boy, I have it as Wednesday in my head. I have no idea what's going on. I think because we normally come back on a Monday and we did not get to come back. It was very expensive to fly back on Monday, so we just booked it for Tuesday, which is fine. You know, it's half the fun of going to BGCON for us is getting to hang out with Scott and Michelle, and we had a great time, and just everybody. It was, hey, I don't know where I'm not seeing this, but thanks for the follow. I would love to say who it is, but I can't see. Wonder why. Anyway, hopefully it'll pop up. Maybe it's here. Anyway, we had a great time. It was my favorite, if not my favorite in recent times. BGCON. Really had a great time. Lots of people there. I didn't even get to say hi to everybody, which was a bummer because I would love to have had a chance to talk with several other folks that I saw but didn't get to chat with. One of the nights we were just heading out to a dinner for basically our content creators, and it was great. Dinner was really nice, but I don't think it was everybody. I mean, it was weird. I don't know how it all worked out, but we had like 14 people. I think Candace was not there yet, if I recall correctly, which is a bummer because we did get to hang out with Candace a little bit, but not nearly enough. Now, I don't have a ton of excuses. She lives here in LA. I am charging this phone. But we hope to have her over, but she has a very busy schedule going on right now, working on a bunch of stuff, as we all are. We have our fundraiser. Hey, Stephanie Straw, how you doing? Miss you. We have our support drive. Our annual support drive starts on the 1st, maybe even the 30th of December. I don't know. So that's very close. And gosh, did I do that right? Oh yeah. So I was putting in a schedule for the live stream, and I think that's this weekend for the Tabletop Live Network. Their 4th year anniversary. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna probably try to do, you know, we kind of lump in asking for support during our advent calendar stuff, which we have filmed none of. I bought the calendar last year before we were even done with filming. Gosh, I feel we were done pretty early in December or something like that. And we just could not get people together. Dave and Deborah both wanted to do it again. And the one shot we had, well, everybody's been busy, our families and stuff like that, people, you know, having to help out with that stuff. And so Dave missed a lot of time. As a matter of fact, we haven't had Dave and Deborah together since probably December of last year. So we were hoping to put, I was joking with them when we finished, I had the new calendar. And I actually wish I had started. At least we'd have maybe the first week ready. I mean, to have it done last year seems silly, but you never know. But we are going to try to do a live stream, maybe. We have had folks that have years ago. The last one we probably did was 2018, maybe 2019. We used to do them for Extra Life, which was awesome. And Scott doesn't, it was great because Scott would come out and he'd be part of it. And it was usually at the beginning of November for BGCON, which is not a great time for, the convention stuff. And so next year, actually, the convention will be 3 weeks between Spiel and BGCON. It's going to be very tight. We bring a lot of games from Europe for that. And so hopefully that'll all work out. I'm sure we'll all be carrying extra games in our bags. We probably are going to ship individual packages. We've done that before too, and it's always nerve-wracking because you don't know how the shipment will go, and we've had a couple of close calls, and so we'll see. It was actually pretty smooth this year. It did take a little bit of time to get to us, but we had everything prepped. They had a library party before we even got out there. Usually we'll go to one of them, and we did go to one of them this year. Library parties are where they get together and they prep the games for the convention, because you have to punch them and put all kinds of sleeves on some of the stuff, and we did that, and then there was still a little bit more to do because more things came in. We had GameGenic support us for the Hot Games Room, which was really cool. They had a bunch of sent us sleeves, not the matte sleeves, unfortunately. Those are, I don't know if they're not as popular, but we love the matte sleeves on the show. Number one, no glare on the cameras, and they're literally my favorite sleeves. They're easier to shuffle. They look better a little bit longer than the others do. The other ones tend to scratch a little quicker. But they didn't have any, so I feel if people get to see them in real life, they will appreciate it more. So next year, hopefully we can prep something a little sooner. But it was great for them to support us on that. We had a lot of support. We had a ton of great games that we gave away to all the attendees, and you get to choose from 2 different shelves, sets of stuff. Oh wow, so you haven't seen my crutches. So this is my 11th week. I fractured my heel 11 weeks ago, September 6th, and have been dealing with that. I went to Spiel with the crutches, which was challenging to say the least. We did buy, so Nikki was going to push me in a wheelchair, which it's just not ideal. And particularly because it's cobblestones in Essen all over the place, and escalators and elevators that are out. And so I bought a little knee scooter, and that was great. I was only just 3 weeks into it, maybe 3.5 weeks by the time the con started. Is that right? Almost a month. I think it was a month. And I was hoping I'd be in better shape, because when I was talking to the doctors, they're like, oh, 4 to 8 weeks is essentially what they said. Well, I'm still struggling. Hey, Skeeve Twitch. Gotta dance. Thanks so much for the support. I'm not seeing these. Oh, you know what? Something is not on here. Replay one of these and see how it goes. Oh, you know what? That is not on. There's what I get. I have no recollection of anything. I am not logged into Stream Elements. That would be the problem. Well, thanks for saying hello to us at the con. We had a great time. It really was great. We ended up doing a lot more walking around and talking to people. I mean, we don't want to interrupt people playing their games. I sometimes will ask a question, but let me just rerun yours there. It's interesting, I'm not seeing our stuff here. Anyway, we were also giving away BGG keyrings, which are really fun. I don't have any on me right now. So we'll see if that pops up. That is silly. I don't know why I forgot that. I always try to do all the elements that I have to do, and it has been a few months, not a few months, 6 weeks or 5 weeks since I did any of it. But yeah, we had a great time, played a lot of games. We actually played a lot of games in Germany before we even came home, which was awesome. We don't usually get to do that. Very fun con this year. SETI was so good, I bought it before finishing my first game. Wow. Well, I haven't played that one. We have it. The other one I really want to play is, well, there's a bunch. Scott's not sure about any of them for game night necessarily, but he wanted us to do Civolution, and he's not so sure because he thinks it could be long. He's like, it's an hour-long teach. In the way that we teach, right? We actually do pretty deep coverage, particularly for folks that aren't, you know, regular gamers where you have shorthand, right? And so, and it frustrates some people, I know. We will be doing the Advent calendar. I do not know if Dave will make it. Deborah is filming something and she should be home soon, and she was wanting to do it. I don't know that Dave is going to be able to join us because I'm not sure what's going on. He's fine. He did not make it to the BGCON. He and his friend Will do the puzzle hunt, or they did it the last few years. They're back to doing it again after the pandemic, and he is helping his mom out, and she's having some trouble. She was in the hospital. Well, we were actually supposed to film with Dave. Actually with Dave and Mike, not with Deborah. Deborah had her husband's uncle passed away, and so we couldn't film those things in October, maybe? I can't remember, late October, or was it? I don't remember. Maybe even before we left for Spiel, I can't recall. So, and you know, Deborah can't help that, and that's totally fine. But it was a bummer because we just have not been able to get the two of them together. But we will probably end up filming a few of them maybe without either of them, and then hopefully, we'll see. I need to write Dave. I definitely need to write Deborah, see what's going on, but we definitely want to do the puzzle, the Advent calendar, and they want to do it. It's just the reality of life getting in the way. Do you remember the 5th of December? But we would love to do it, and we will do it. I already own it, and I already actually own next year's. So if by chance we're able to get them together, hopefully this year won't be so. I mean, we actually didn't mind doing it with different folks. We would do like 5. I mean, Dave ended up doing a bunch of them. Deborah did like 6 or something. This is 2 years ago. And, you know, everybody had fun, but you just moving into December makes it very difficult. And so that's one reason why we filmed a little early last year. And I honestly, I feel like we were done before December. I don't recall 100%. They are actually more difficult than you think, because, you know, you're talking about a 6-minute to 20-minute video, each one of them. And we insert camera stuff, and Derek was talking about, like, if there's a way we could make that a little easier. And I don't blame him, it's hard. But we don't want to have the camera running all the time. We just do each segment and then insert it into the spot so you can see inside the little room, which is cool. But Flip 7, yes. Flip 7's awesome. I didn't get to try Civilization, Black Forest, or Windmill Garden. I did pick up Flip 7. We played it many times. It's awesome. The other great one, the gang is cool too. Sadly, we lost one of the designers of that game last week. It's very sad. There's a post on BGG about it. He was a nice guy, Corey Heath. We had a really great time playing Fishing, the new one from Freedom and Freesa. It's a kind of like, it's not a legacy, but it's like it evolves through the game. It changes, it's the same set of cards every game, but you may not see them all. I can't remember if some were pulled, but it's great. We filmed a 3-player game night for it before we left, and that will be an episode soon, but probably closer to its availability in the United States. It's due soon. There was some delays on the shipment, the container for all that stuff, that plus the Power Grid Outpost, which we also played. We played that a few times now. That was, we played with Rusty, which was great to see Rusty. And hopefully we'll do that as an episode soon as well. We also, I mean, all 3 of the games that 2F Spiele put out, which Rio Grande will do as well, were great. We're going to probably film them all because we've never done a Power Grid. We've never done, we did not do Free Ride, which was 3 years ago, came out 3 years ago, which is a great game. The problem with it was not very photogenic on the table. And I mean, you know, we had people complain about the Rock Hard game. And I mean, that's just a busy board. At least it has colors, at least it has zones. Free Ride, they fell in love with the sepia tone art, which is great looking, but it was hard to, especially for North American people that don't know European geography, we didn't know where things are at. I played it once. I watched some folks play it once, and it was really good. They made a few changes, and everything has color now. So each zone has a different color, and it's very good. So we'll probably do that one as well. I love watching them. I just watched your Lord of the Rings Journeys in the Middle Earth. So we do stream, I mean, this is Tavern Cat DM on Twitch. We do stream Game Night. Most of the time it's just Nikki and I. That would have been tonight if Nikki's cough had been a little bit calmer. And I'm not sure. I have it scheduled that I will paint next week, and that's probably going to happen because there'll be preparations for Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty certain that's what will happen. So we probably won't stream another Game Night till afterwards, but we generally stream once a week, either Tuesday morning or Thursday evening a Game Night. So it'll alternate. This week would have been, if we followed the schedule, tonight would have been a Game Night live, and then Tuesday would have been a Game Night live at 10:30. These are both 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time next Tuesday. But because of I wasn't going to paint it all, right? Except for I think I had scheduled the Tuesday, so Nikki we wouldn't have to do the game playing and stuff like that when we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. But but normally, so what'll probably happen? We won't stream Thanksgiving. Obviously, that's not a good day for that. We got people over, but we'll probably stream. I mean, we may stream that Sunday. We're going to try to do a live, like a longer live stream that we'll have people over. It's all a big fat maybe, unfortunately, because we have to see if we can get people to come. Christmas time is hard. It's funny how many family events and church events and things like that happen. I mean, it's the time of the year for it. And so we are lucky if we get to do anything. So we are going to try. Illustrations and Flip 7, my group is of 8. I also want to play, so we just got Green Team Wins the Christmas or Holiday Edition. I do not know anything about it. I haven't looked at it yet. I want to look at it. I'm excited to maybe play that. Our families my mom is more game than Nikki's parents. Her father, no chance. And Nikki's mom, maybe. I think we played Ticket to Ride with both of them, and there was always this talk of having Ticket to Ride on Mother's Day or something like that, where all of our mothers would play. I don't know if Aaron's mom plays a lot of games. And we had Deborah's mom over here when we filmed, actually the first time we filmed after the pandemic with everybody. That was great. We got to meet her. And so they sat and watched us play. I think we played 2 games, but they were very nice to put up with that. Yeah, it would have been fun to do that. But now, my mom still plays Ticket to Ride, mostly on the app, but we haven't played with her for a long time. So we did play in 2021. Nikki went to Astra, which is a toy and game convention in Minneapolis. And so she was away. And so my mom was staying with us, I believe. She had fallen during the summer, and we just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And so she was, I think that's what was going on. So she played with me and Scott. She played Marvel United, and she did not get it. And I mean, Marvel United is a pretty simple game, but I can understand, right? You don't play a lot of games, you don't get that exposure. So we kept trying, and it just wasn't working out. I mean, we basically played her turns for her, but it was still fun to have run. But anyway, so we want to definitely do some family stuff. That'd be fun. Today I'm going to be painting. So I'm going to finish my Sylvaneth Warriors. I think it is. I have the box somewhere. I've got most of them done. I'm going to try to finish them up. I'm also going to probably paint some Marvel United, a little bit of Marvel United. I'm mostly done with them. I have a few of them that need pieces. That's interesting. You can see where this glued down. I don't remember doing, oops, you can't see it. Oh, I need to change my glasses, my regular sight glasses, no good for painting. I worked on had to clean up all my area here. So yeah, you can see where this piece joins with it, and that's because I'm sure it was all glued up. Whoa, it's bringing right off, and her face came off, or their face came off. Our head came off. I did not glue all this one completely down. There's a few pieces that need to go in. I have sometimes done stuff where I don't assemble it completely. This was one of those times, and I don't know that it was necessary. I think I wanted to paint I painted the leaves, and I just thought, oh, let me try it, and it turned out okay. But I need to finish that up. There's a piece that goes on here. Let me make sure it's the right piece. I believe that it is. So I have to paint this as well, and I'm going to probably paint it as some sort of being or something. I don't know. But it'll glue. The neat thing about these are push fit. Now I did not push that head on there very strong, but I will also probably glue it. Push fit's actually pretty great. They've been doing it forever. Not necessarily Games Workshop, but other model manufacturers, and it's pretty amazing if you want to just get started and not spend a bunch of money. Yeah, see, these are the same figure, slightly different stuff. I need to finish them. Need to do some varnishing. Would be important. I have heard of Flamecraft. Have you not seen our episode? Bahamu KOTD. That's if you look, if you look on our live YouTube live page, there's me painting those minis. I painted, I think 6 of them, maybe 5. I did all of the ones that came in the box, but I got the company that did that, Cardboard Alchemy, one of the guys sent me, or brought me, it was during the near the, whatever, pandemic time frame. He brought the stuff over, and he brought me that mini as well, and I painted them. Let me see if I can, I think they're in the box. I would love to show them to you, but they're not here. But they turned out great. I loved painting those. They're really fun and very simple. So dryads or tree remnants. I think these are called, there's the Sylvaneth was the leader, I guess. But they're sure awesome. I love painting these. These are actually the first, well, not all these. This one here, for example, was the first one I painted with contrast paints. I just bought them in August of 2019, and I was trying to get Scott to paint, and so I bought a bunch of stuff, and I left things with him, but he did not start painting again until during the pandemic. He and I were painting Warhammer, Marvel United, while he was, while it wasn't much to do. I do have some Marvel United that I want to paint. I've been trying to paint pairs. I'm going to paint this one. So I'm going to be painting Scott's minis as well. So I'll be painting 3 of these. I did this one already for Scott. I was at his house, and we were house sitting for a little bit of time. And so I painted that. So I'm going to probably do Nebula as well. But yeah, it's a couple, maybe 2 streams or something. Bahamu KOTD. I painted, literally, I think I did 2 in an hour and a half's time each time. So it was probably 3 streams. And they turned out great. Hold on, let me just go see if I can find them. I'm afraid they're behind the board here. But my foot is hurting a little bit today. It was good earlier, but I still think I'm doing it too long. I'm on it too long. Something's falling down. That is because I'm wearing, actually, you know what I need to do? I need to look it up. So we have all our games cataloged where they're at. We have far too many games to keep looking for that stuff, but let me look on my app. I think it's on the BGG app as well. Let's see. Let me look at the app and just see. But it's great because we don't, I'm pretty sure where it might be. Flamecraft. I did see the new one, Andromeda's Edge, I think, the new game from them. Yeah, so it would have been 2022. He brought it over. It was cold out, I remember. He was wearing shorts, and I'm like, man, it's cold out. So whenever they delivered it a little bit later, they gave us a couple of them. Let me see, I don't see the information. But yeah, I love the Flamecraft minis. Let me look. I think it's, I mean, I shouldn't get to know how this works. My collection. Hey, F2. Let's see if that's accurate. So I'll show you here. I have them, we have each shelf labeled. So we have each shelf labeled. And I can then go and look to see where it's at, because we can't, anytime you spend more than 5 minutes looking for a game is tremendous waste of time. So let me see, F is over here. But yeah, I've been putting the minis back in the boxes. So I have all the Marvel United stuff I've done, and I actually need to send some stuff off. Trying to finish the first wave entirely. I have about 14 for myself. Maybe 10 or 11 actually to do. Wow, that's tight. But yeah, we have too many games. We're trying to, so we send off games. We have a big pile of them that we need to send. For charity, we do a charity thing at BGG Spring. And so I don't like to, when publishers send us games, I don't like to sell them. I haven't sold any games actually. I traded one game one time, and I did not like how that turned out, because I felt a little taken advantage of, and so I just decided I'd give them away. So if somebody says, "Oh, I like this game," you know, if we played it or whatever, I'm like, "Here you go," because we can't. The reality is we don't get to play too many games again. I'm trying to walk through here without further injuring my ankle. I should put this on top anyway, so I can get it again. Here we go. Let's see if they're actually in here. I got all these car rental. Like, I'm not renting a car. 6 in the base and the 7th is the extra. Yeah, so there's like a pink one, I think was the extra one, which I did not even prime. And I think I had forgotten that I had it is what happened, or I would have just done it. I really like these minis. They did a nice job on them. The new stuff for that Andromeda's Edge looked great too. Really nice minis. You know, it's spaceships and stuff. Wow, I don't see them in here. So all that effort and they're not in here. Where the heck are they? Oh, you know what? They might be in the box, the miniature box. Not good. Let me look. I need to put them in here though. Silly. I really don't recall. This is terrible. It wasn't that long ago because I was putting all this stuff away and I really didn't want it all piled up everywhere. Oh, there they are. Oh no, that's the second set. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. That's what I get. Okay, well, let me look in here. I really need light. But Nikki's been doing a good job of getting this stuff organized. Ouch. Because she is really way better about this than I am. Yeah, those are the unpainted ones. What the heck did I do? Here they are. They need to be on the shelf. These I could probably leave out and just have them in the box. I just don't want them to get, you know, I have like alcohol on the desk and that would really mess up a paint unless you moved really quickly. Out. Here we go. So these are the, let me cut to the table here. There we go. Hey, I got the wrong one. Let's get this up correctly. Here we go. Here we go. So I was showing those minis and you couldn't see them, but this is what I was showing here, the Sylvaneth. So these are the Marvel United that I painted. I mean, not Marvel United, Flamecraft. I saw some amazing paint jobs on BGG. I didn't go for that level. I'm an okay painter. I like to paint a lot. but I've painted plenty of traditional standard acrylic paints, and I don't mind doing it, but I have real fun with these because they get done really fast. I saw the second range of minis where they're holding like spatulas and stuff. It's awesome. So yeah, this is one that I painted, you know, hour time, maybe a little more than that time frame wise. They turned out really great. So let me get my earbuds on, I can't hear again. Yeah, I want to get the, I don't know, I mean, the Andromeda's Edge, we saw the deluxe one. I didn't see the standard one till a little bit later. I love all that stuff, but it seems too much. Let's see here. So yeah, these turned out great, and they're very basic. You know, I primed them like this style, Zenithal, where it's all black, then light, gray, and then white from the top. I amplify it a bit by using a little bit more. I airbrush my undercoating. I put a little bit more white on the faces because I want them to pop. So I did the same thing, and then I just did basically 2 colors plus, you know, the stuff for the horns and things like that. But like this is a gray and then a blue. And it's all the same stuff. I just used this stuff here, contrast medium, to thin, not thin it because it's still the same consistency. I use this to lessen the impact of the intensity of the color. And man, I think it does a great job. I think these turned out really, really well. I definitely would like to get the new minis, but I really don't need them. It's so terrible. But yeah, so this one I used 3 colors. Well, maybe it was the same as the wings. I wanted the chest, because I looked at the illustrations for these and kind of followed along. So they turned out great. I really love them. I think they did a really nice job on the minis, and Sandara is really a great artist. But yeah, I saw the new ones at, in Dallas. I saw them at Common Ground, and I was like, oh my gosh, I want them, but I really need to resist. But yeah, they're fun. Real fun, and I absolutely need to put these where I will find them. At least I found them relatively quick. I just for sure I thought I put them in the game. I'm nervous. I don't know how good stuff touching plastic will be with the paints. I leave the paints out after I varnish them. I leave them out for a long time to make sure that they cure, and I don't want them to stick. So I'm particular about that. But the reality is you can only do so much. Dealing with storage of this stuff is really the biggest challenge next. I need to finish these too. I think they need varnish. Although I might have done it. That's the problem, I can't really tell. I think these are done. So the face is a little dark, right? It's okay. It looks good. And you know, it seems like kind of like a night look or something like that anyway. But I need to, what was I doing? I painted something that was primed differently recently, and I know. I painted these. So I used, boy, that's funny, I couldn't remember that. I used, I didn't prime the black. So we were visiting our friends Annie and Sebastian, who've been on the show in Germany, and I had asked him to track down these minis for me, and goodness, like 10 months ago or something like that. And so he's like, well, what do you want to paint? And then I'm like, oh, I have those minis I bought. So that you got for me. So he primed them black with a rattle can, which I wouldn't do necessarily. Although he's very, very good at it, and he knows how to get it on there so it doesn't really obscure the detail. And he's not using like the greatest primers for, he uses stuff that works well for the plastics, but he's not using GW or any of the other, Army Painter. There's another brand that I've seen from Britain that Monument Hobbies is doing. Anyway, and so I used the new white from Vallejo in these bottles. So this is this is not a game color bottle. I don't think I have any game color yet. And I used the white from this, and it was amazing. Like the best white for airbrushing. Now I'm using what I feel is the best white right here. Is this it? Yeah, bold titanium white. This is a great white for painting. And I'm sure that Vallejo is pretty good. Vallejo was, I have an old bottle of Vallejo white that was not that great. And it actually turned me off from using their paints. Now, white is a challenging color. It's hard to actually have it go on well. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. Oh, hey, Cersei, how you doing? Yeah, we haven't streamed since New Year's, Halloween. We streamed Horrified the day we put that episode out. World of Monsters, which, holy cow, that was hard. And we basically figured out that we should have only done 2. So there is something on here. Yeah, I don't know. This one's essentially done, but I feel like the base is not varnished. Any of it, I don't know how much of it's varnished. Let's put just a little bit of varnish on it, just for the safety's sake. I use matte varnish. I actually mix a little bit of matte varnish. No, we'll just use matte. I sometimes mix matte and satin, or ultra matte and satin, to get different levels. I like this stuff. AK Interactive, they make some pretty great, let me stir that up a little bit more. They make some great stuff. Yeah, I didn't have the tree people, I'm sorry. Yeah, I get carried away talking, and then I start talking about the stuff that's down below. I'll go back. So yeah, I had these guys that I'm working on. This one I had glued together everything. This one was not completely glued together. So just to be able to paint it a little better, and I feel it worked, but I still feel that. So I primed these. This was before I did not even have the epiphany of Zenithal for this. I had painted Zenithal before, highlighting, to do regular painting styles, to do a, you know, like it's brighter on the top, where you just kind of match the shading based on what you see from the grayscale. During 2021, Adam Smasher from Tabletop Minions streamed with us. Well, I don't, maybe that is painted. I don't think so though. He live streamed some painting for us, and we had gotten him, yeah, there's the two that they're different. I painted them about the same time. These were, I didn't finish saying that, but I primed these entirely white with rattle can. I think it wasn't even actually white. I think it was the Corax gray, or no, where is that? I keep tracking it down. It is one of the GW paints that I have that is this it? I hope so. No, because Wraithbone's one of them. That's this color. They have a primer that's that. It's a little, it's warmer. The one I use is grayer, cooler. And I do not see it. Once again, I do not, I need to, let me just look for a second. Oh, that's not the color. It's definitely not those. I need it where it's available. I use it often, and I tuck it away every time I do. Anyway, they had the rattle can of that. I thought they got rid of one. Maybe it was just the white. This is the new one. GW sent me this one a year and a half, 2 years ago now, White Scar. This is the new one. Is there a date on it? 2022. There you go. 2022. So that was, they sent that out with actually the entirety of the second half of the contrast paints plus the new shades, and they were all pretty great. Anyway, so I primed in one color and then used the contrast paints in the manner that they have put them, want you to do them. Well, Adam did he did like the Hulk and maybe Iron Man, I can't remember. And I was like, oh, that's the way to do it, because you get very quick results for shading. All of these minis here were shaded that way, where I do the light at the top. Well, it's all painted black, then gray at a 45-degree angle, so that you have dark at the bottom, as you can see, and then bright white at the top for the brightest, like the sun is beating down on that at that point, or the light, you know, whatever. And it really makes a big difference. I painted, let's see here. I have all the, these are cool. So this is one that I painted for Marvel United, and it's same thing. You know, you can see the shading here. I didn't even paint, well, actually I did a little bit of white here on the edges. But this is just the airbrushing for the undercoating. And yeah, and the black I used here, some of the colors do not translate that shading through. And you know, that's not what Games Workshop wants you to do, necessarily. I mean, they want you to do whatever you want, but you can see I did some brighter orange. You know, this is all contrast paints, and then I think I used a little bit of, I think I might have bought it after this, so I think I just kept using the orange and kept building it up. But they turn out really, really neat. Here's one that I did a little bit of airbrushing to do the, I airbrushed the cloak and the flames, and then went back with a brush and did some stuff on it. But I really like doing this method. It comes out pretty quick. This one's a little bright, but you can see it's darker from beneath. But you get really great results very quickly, and I'm just trying to encourage people to paint their minis. It doesn't take a lot to, people say, oh, I don't think I can do this. Well, I think you can. Thanks, Francois. I was in your neck of this October, San Diego. What were you, oh, just visiting, nice. We want to go to Disneyland. We have not been since 2019. I think we went in December 2019, and that was when Galaxy's Edge was open, but the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance was not open, and we have not done that yet. We really would like to. So let's put varnish down. So yeah, we have a friend visiting next, a little over a week from now. Actually, that's not true. Today's the 21st, so 2 weeks with her family, and I don't think we'll go with them. Not that we have any problem with going with them, it's just that it's, with 2 younger kids, it's gonna be challenging, and we are, you know, we're not used to that at all. But I wish we were going with them because they're Disney people. We actually intended to go with James Hudson before he moved back to Alabama, and it just didn't work out. Timing, because they were packing and stuff, you know. He was like, we could do it. I'm like, we don't want to get in your way. But he would have been great because he lived close. He moved out here in 2019 or 2018 because his company was purchased by another company, and they worked on that for a while, and then I guess it just didn't work out that the other company wanted types of games that James doesn't do, and so they split apart. And I don't, you know, I'm sad that he's still not here because he's really a nice guy and a lot of fun. We filmed with him before he left. We did Skyrise and his Tidal Blades too, which we put that one out a little while ago. I really like Tidal Blades too. I want to get that. I can't remember. I think I need to tell him because he was going to send us one, which, you know, isn't necessary. We've got yeah, this is not so I did paint them black recently, the bases again. But man, BGCON was great. We had a lot of people there. It was a pretty full show. We were the main ballroom, which is the Landmark. Yes, I think that's the main ballroom. It was packed, like almost too packed in my opinion. It's crazy because, you know, the hotel does the table layouts, and, you know, they're concerned about people being able to get out. And I was using my knee scooter since I'd hurt my foot, and it was I couldn't get through. I think you'd have to dance around all the stuff at the ends of the aisle, so you had to go back to the front. I mean, I found a couple spots like where the chairs were pushed in deep, well enough to cut across mid hall. So we didn't get to do it as much in there, but we walked around more in we walked around much more in, goodness gracious, what is the name of that? Reunion Ballroom, which is where they also had events. Oh my gosh, the flea market or the bazaar was amazing. Such great stuff. One guy who has been in the hobby forever, I bought stuff from him last year. He is just getting rid of his collection for the most part. I don't know if he's keeping anything. He said he's become a player and not a collector, which is, you know, wow, that's awesome. I wish I could do that. You know, because it's part of how all of us are, you know, we get into it, we want to have those games at our fingertips. And, you know, especially if you're younger into the, you know, not younger, but into the hobby longer, you know how games sometimes never get reprinted, you know. It's not as likely now. I mean, you know, still games don't, if they don't do well, they're not going to get reprinted. But back in the day, you know, they would do a couple thousand and that was it. And if you wanted that game, you should get it because you probably won't easily get it later. You know, the web has made that all differently. But a friend of ours, Marga, who is in Spain, she is a victim of the floods. She was not living where the floods happened. She has a storage locker in Valencia, and that locker got completely flooded, and she basically lost all of her games. She sent me pictures today, and it is just a terrible mess. And I feel so bad for her because, you know, she is a teacher, and she goes where they need her, and she'll, you know, she's had different positions in and around Spain, and so it's just awful. But yeah, too many games. I had gotten her the Quacks stuff 2 years ago, because I don't think we saw her last year. We didn't see her this year. Okay, well, we did Oogie Boogie has been at DCA, and you see here. We have not, it's been a while, and things have changed for sure. We Oogie Boogie Bash at DCA and Disneyland the following day. Nice. I would love to go back again. We'll probably go when because the holidays are the worst. It's super busy. We'll probably go in January, February. Nikki's never been to Disney World, and we would like to do that too. And maybe we'll get to that one of these days. We actually tried to use airfare that we had from the pandemic, you know, canceled trips. And it was such a mess, I just was like, forget it. We can just rebook our, we can do new flights and not stress about trying to use them. And that was, you know, all of them were like, you have this amount of time to get it done. And we had several flights that we had booked. One to Japan, which I really wish we could have done, because Nikki has still never been to Japan. And I went in 2018 for Tokyo Game Market, which was amazing. It's not in focus. So one of these days we'll do it. We just, you know, we were actually talking about 2020 streaming. We filmed stuff in 2018. The real issue for us is the timing for those cons. There's one in the spring and there's one in the fall. And they're both basically when other things are happening, right? So actually they're basically timed up with BGCON. Yeah, see there, that paint is coming out, so I can't prime that yet. I gotta touch that up with some black. Yeah, they generally time up with BGCON. The reason why I got to go in 2018 was they had it early in May of 2018. I think it was just early enough in May that we were able to go. And you know, the convention's always Memorial Day weekend, but I think that convention shifts around a little bit date-wise. Let's see, where's the black? Is it up here? It looks like it is. So it's interesting, this is a coal black. What is that other black that I have from, I think I used it, and I used it for something else on the stream recently. And it's blue. Oh, this just says black. I thought it was, I don't think it was this one. Oh, you know what it was? It was P3. I opened the P3 paint. That is, yeah. This is also coal black. Look how blue it is. Now, maybe Cole has blue in it, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, 2 different colors, so can't go by color name. That is unfortunate. The nice thing about all the paints nowadays, generally, is they have mixing balls in them. These ones have glass, surgical grade glass in them, balls, and these are the ones you can buy, but they have, I bought a lot of them, as you can see. I think maybe they're 50 for $2.50 or something like that. And I bought like 5 packages of them, so, or 5 sets, so it's all in one bag. But in the paint, excuse me, in the paint bottles, wow, hold on, mute. In the paint bottles, they use slightly larger glass beads, balls, you know, in them. And those are, they put 1 of them in the paint bottle. I actually kind of like the smaller ones, so I've been using the small green, and they put steel ball, too much black. They put steel ball bearings in all of the Army Painter stuff nowadays. So I have some of the speed paints from them, and they have 2 balls in them that shows you there, 2 mixing balls. And I got a bunch of these, and they also have 2 mixing balls in them. These actually need them really. I mean, you really need to shake up speed paints and contrast paints. There's a lot of pigments that settle out, and you really need to do it on all of them. But yeah, you can't even hear them in here. It takes a lot of mixing. So I did buy a full, well, not a full set. I bought a set of the War Paints Fanatic stuff from Army Painter, and I only bought 50 bottles in a set, you know, that was 50 bottles, which is great, but they're expensive. I mean, you know, it's about $4 a bottle at that price, and that's a good deal. Wyvern Fury, huh? Can't hear the mixing balls in those, but they all do have them, which is great. So this is, you can see some here maybe. I can't really show them. So I bought the, basically their War Paint Stabilizer is their medium stuff, and it comes with 2 mixing balls as well. That did not come with the set. There's good stuff in here, but there were some repeats to some of the other things I have. But it's good set, and worth. The paint's very nice. I don't have a lot of experience with really fantastic paints, and so that was my first go at it. You know, I use lots of GW, and I mean, I feel that the Monument Hobbies Pro Acryls are great, but for whatever reason, and whatever the formulation is of the War Paints Fanatic, it's amazing. I only used a couple colors, but very, very smooth, mixed very easily. I did do an AB. Let me see if I do have it here. So I painted the Bold Pyrrole Red, which is from Pro Acryl Monument Hobbies. And I painted the True Red. Let me see, I'll show you the bottles here in a sec. And there's a difference. Stolly on YouTube, and Tale of Painters, I think is what his website group is, was saying that he felt that they put a little more white in their paint to have it coat more quickly. And I don't know if that is the case, because I felt like they both took the same amount of paint to get to a smooth finish. So here's the red that I had. This is pure red. And where is the other red? Here we go. Wow. Throwing stuff around. This is the Bold Pyrrole Red. And you know, they're different. But when you put it on the Mini, the bold Pyrrole red is on the left, and the pure red is on the right. And it looks a little oranger to me, I don't know. I did not prime these, so this is on the bare plastic, and the split line, you know, not that you necessarily, you can kind of see it, I think, but the split line is right here. So along that fold, I painted just this paint, the War Paints Fanatic. It's still a great red. I wouldn't worry about it, but for whatever reason, this is more like the red I think of, and that's this side over here. But there were some people that were saying that his review was not really great, and I'm like, I feel that he's accurate. He has done videos about just reds and yellows, and I think it's worth doing it. You know, I mean, it's worth paying attention to that and seeing how stuff works for you. Also, colors don't necessarily mean as much to others. I'm very particular. You know, I don't know if I see red like everybody else sees red. But, I don't know, this is pretty neat though. And they both look great. They both went on really smooth. So there you go, there's that. I have that, like I said, I want to try to get a bottle of the Vallejo white that they have in the new game colors. It was really great, at least through the airbrush. So I use, that might be the issue. I use these paints for my undercoating. This is Badger's airbrush primers. You don't need to thin it, you can thin it a little bit. This white might be, as you can see here, this is kind of milky in here. But I have barely used any of this. I was like, oh, I'm gonna need a lot of this, and I bought 16-ounce bottles. I really feel you could get by with 8-ounce bottles if you're gonna use an airbrush. And I have used these by hand, painted them with a brush as well, but I barely dented them. This one here is like this full still. Now, white doesn't, I still do multiple coats to try to get it as bright as I can get it. I wish I could see the black here. I probably made a mistake shaking it, but you have to shake them a lot. They're great, and I just don't know if the white is as strong as coating as I need it to be, because I definitely have to do multiple coats. And that's a little unfortunate. So as I said, I used that Vallejo white, and it was rock solid. Turned out really, really well. And it was one coat, I think, maybe two. But I think anybody, you know, yes, it takes time to get good at all this, but I think the results, first of all, of just any painted mini is fantastic. And if you can just, and you know, it might be a great hobby for you. I love it. It is great relaxation for me. I do not get to paint nearly as often as I would like. I kind of was hoping that December could be a little bit more time in the evenings. We'll see. You know, the sun goes down so quickly here that, you know, there's not much you're going to do outside. And I have plenty of things to do outside. I have projects to work on. But, so here's one, and it's dried pretty much now. I mean, it needs more time. But the varnish looks pretty good. It has a little bit, this is the matte varnish. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. And that is one reason why I will often mix a little bit of the ultra matte, because the ultra matte's crazy flat. Let's see here. Oh, it's paused. Okay. I thought I messed something up there. Let's see if this one needs it too. Now these aren't done, but it's good to get them the rims varnished, because it will take the handling a little bit more. We went to a pinball place, and arcade game place in Dallas called All Play. It was great. We've been to Cidercade, which is awesome. The issue is the Cidercade that's closest to the hotel where BGCON Spring is not a lot of restaurants by it. As a matter of fact, there's nothing really by it. The one in Arlington that we went to we went in May, that actually has some restaurants around. And it has another, so they have a Cidercade and an All Play over there. I didn't realize they were the same two arcades. I wanted to go to, so there's a YouTuber called 8-Bit Guy, and he does a lot of retro computer and consoles and tech, you know. He started a new arcade with his brother, and they have a guy who has another arcade. I can't remember the arcade. Scott we've watched the YouTubes of their stuff in Dallas, and it's just opened a couple weeks back. I think it was at the end of October, so a month or so ago now. But the hours were just not great for us to go for the con. But I really would like to go see that too, because he has old computers set up to play old computer games as well, and that seems really fun. And they have pinball and lots of video game stuff. They spent a lot of time and money on it, so I hope it's successful. It just seems, and that one's a little bit closer to that's a little closer to Fort Worth, and I've been out that way, but the ones that are in Arlington are not that far away from it. So, and it was funny because they had troubles with the city council to get it approved, like, you know, worried about, like they used to be with arcades, that it would be, you know, bad behavior or something like that. Yeah, really, it's been such a crazy time, and we are going to have a busy December, I already can tell. I just hope we're able to do some of the fun things that we need to do. It gets that way. Let's see, I want to paint, actually I'm not going to do Nebula. I want to do that one, but I want to wait on it. I will I did look at Scott's, they were great. He did a bunch like Howard the Duck, and yeah, you can see these are kind of gray. I don't know, and this one's grayer than the other. I don't really know this character. Let me see if I can find the picture. I have saved all the photos on gosh, I remember I looked her up and I do not remember her name. I've saved them all because it's helpful to, I want to just paint them like you would expect them to be. And I don't have a knowledge of all of them. Scott actually bought one of those comic book encyclopedias of the characters, Marvel characters. I want to get one. I have not done it yet. I should actually put it on my Christmas wish list. And these are different, but these are painted, based on the IP, so it just makes it easier to go with the colors because you don't have to sweat it. And just go. There we go. She is Spider-Woman. Okay, well, I should know that. Interesting. I don't know her. So we will do a little bit, anything block for your Black Friday radar. Oh, I'm not gonna, there's some great TV deals. We don't need a TV, but I would like to get a new, so we have a OLED that I bought 7 years ago? Oh goodness, more than 7 years ago. Almost 8 years ago. Wow. It was the last of the, I think that's correct. I think it was 2017. It was the last of the 3D TVs. I wanted one. I didn't even know. I just was like, I didn't know they were stopping. I didn't pay attention. I usually pay, you know, if I'm wanting something like that, I'll look, because I bought it right after CES. And I looked at the new ones and thought, oh, there's really not that much different. Might as well just get the old one. And boy, am I happy I did, because the 3D TV is amazing. It's passive 3D, so you wear glasses, but you don't have to have active glasses. And it is fantastic. We've used that for many years. And we also purchased a projector 2 years ago that's 3D as well, and we do that one sometimes. And we are hoping to do a little bit, you know, it would be nice, like there's very good deals on like a 77-inch or an 83-inch television, which is, our living room is pretty big, so it would be good, but the reality is we already have the projector that would, if we wanted to do large screen stuff, we can do it that way, and we do. It's just we don't always have the screen up. I need to get something that mounts to the ceiling, and we'll maybe figure that out at some point. But yeah, that would be cool, but I don't want to spend the money, and I don't need to. What else do we got? I think I'm going to do the Black Templar, no, Basilicanum Gray, and I have to mix that up a lot. And I'll look at Lego and everything else. Lego hasn't been as great for deals for Black Friday as they used to be. But I would always miss them anyway. It was always the wrong, you know, like, I guess a work night? I don't know. That seems wrong, but I did work my old job. I think I found out later. Oh, it's gray cere. That's the color sitting right there. That is the gray undercoating that I used on these Sylvaneth guys here. Anyway, they the Lego stuff, I usually miss out on, like, the big thing when they did that. I don't think they do that as much now. They basically give you double points, which is good. I have a lot of points. I would like to use them on something at Lego one of these days soon. I kind of want to spend, I need to find out if it's possible, because they changed the way it works. I'd like to get one of the walkers, which is very expensive, and I have like a few $100s worth of points. So I kind of want to get that, if at all possible, with it. But I think that they've changed it to, that you you can only use so much, maybe like $100, or maybe they just come in $100 chunks or something. I need to go into the store and ask, because I will buy Christmas stuff. We actually are getting something for one of our friends who has gotten into that. She wants to, we're going to get her one of the Christmas sets. That's one of Nikki's things. She used to do her own Christmas gingerbread house thing, and now she we bought, a few years ago they did the just dropped it in the wrong thing. A few years ago they did an actual gingerbread house that was really great, and so she does that plus some other stuff. Man, this is terrible. Not that it really matters, but I do not like wasting stuff. Snatching up old out-of-print Forge World and Armor Cast. Wow. That would be, I'm surprised that they actually go out of print, because like it's easy enough for them to do that. I have only ever bought a few things from Forge World back in the day, and I'm not even certain I need any of it now, because I think they were for mostly Sisters of Battle, since there was no Sisters of Battle stuff really, and now they finally have a full-on real army. But yeah, I love the Forge World stuff. I would love to. It's just so expensive, even then, you know, and it's crazy now. But it would be fun. I mean, to really, I cannot paint a ton of. I really don't try not to buy too much GW stuff. So they were really nice, and they sent me the new and I need to do something with it, the new Kill Team box. I thought it was like a small box, because generally that's what they'll send me, is something that, you know, like the Target or Barnes & Noble sells, and they did send me some of that stuff too, a little bit later. And I haven't even opened it up. It came like right before we were, might have been just before Spiel, that seems right. Although that seems kind of, maybe it was Gen Con, I don't remember. I think it was Spiel. We had a meeting with some folks from GW. It was great to talk to them about all that stuff. And they are, they're doing, you know, they're doing things to try to better service folks, especially that are getting into the hobby. They did a new Kill Team starter set that actually has, like, wow, this is not focusing, has MDF terrain that's printed on in texture. I mean, it's got, like, I think dimensionality. I did not, he had mentioned it that it was coming soon. It wasn't too long after Spiel, so it was only a few weeks ago. And I saw it at the store, at Common Ground, they had it. And the funny thing is, that's the set I would prefer to have, as far as, because you know, our audience is mostly, would be new to it all. So I will do it unboxing, and I will look at that stuff soon. I would have done it today, but we were actually going to do a regular game night stream, but Nikki's cough is still a little too much. She got sick right at the beginning of the con, just before it started, actually, I think. And it's just rough. She has not got, she used to get sick all the time, and thankfully her we had figured out that you could use a humidifier, a little travel humidifier, to help her recover. The biggest issue is you talk all the time when you're at a booth, running a booth, and she just was wearing her throat, you know, like getting hoarse, and then would end up getting sick from that. And once we figured out the humidifier, that worked great. But for whatever reason, we have had bad luck. We've gotten colds. I did not, well, so far, knock on wood. I have not gotten it this time, but Nikki did. Actually, I think Scott was worried that he did too, but I haven't heard, he hasn't told me, so. But yeah, it was terrible. We got back from Spiel, had a cold. I was getting it there. I actually was kind of nervous that it was COVID, because I was feeling, you know, and they have a baby. I did not want anybody to get sick. But I went to bed, you know, like with the chills, and woke up the next morning, was perfectly fine. So I don't know what it was. Yeah, I don't know if this is the color. Too thinned, I guess. Now I can build this up. Getting my hair in the way here, my head. But yeah, conventions, you know, it's just terrible. You get sick. I not commonly get sick when when we'd come back. But sometimes I came back from one, got home, went to work the next day, came home, took a nap on the couch, woke up feeling terrible. And it was not great. Let's get the other one's hair done first before I paint other things. All those will not be done. I'm going to need multiple coats. I was just hoping to have some shading go through for the hair, because it's dark colors just don't shade with the contrast so much. If you build it up, you can get a little bit more of a shading effect going on. There's a concert tomorrow in LA that I wish we could go to. But I knew, like, I hadn't bought the tickets before I hurt my foot. But it would be very hard now. And it's not even a big venue, but it's just, it's standing room only kind of a thing. They do have some seating for people in wheelchairs, and I'm not in a wheelchair, and I don't necessarily need to be, but standing on crutches would not be fun. So, not gonna do it, it looks like, which is a bummer. I saw Miniac did a video this week, I believe. Well, actually not Miniac, it was Ninjon, covering the quality of minis. And I don't have a lot of experience with all the different brands he was showing, but I do wish that, I mean, I really like these minis for the Marvel United, but this is actually the oldest set. Oops, I just stuck it in the wrong black. But I do wish there was, I mean, these are large minis. Wish there was a little bit more detail on some of the parts, but they assemble these in the factory, so that is one of the reasons why I end up making mistakes about the mold line removal, which is a bummer, because I'm particular. Wow, so I didn't make it all the way through this, so I need to mix a little bit more. Let us do that. Finally got everything done for the evening. Oh, how you doing? I'm doing okay, David. Trying to, I guess you got snow coming. I think Derek showed me pictures of the snow in Colorado Springs. It's been colder here, but it's not cold. We actually went to go mail a package and had some lunch, and it was an outdoor place, and I was kind of worried about it, and I was ended up being hot, like, oh, I shouldn't have brought this. Picked the wrong day to bring all these things. So there it is, more of that. But yeah, I would like to holiday cash. It's true. Francois was saying over on YouTube, it's a time to buy some of these things when people are getting rid of them to get a little extra cash for the holidays. I don't know. I really need to, because I was talking to somebody about all the, and you know, Sebastian is an amazing painter. He just churns through stuff. He's maybe not the greatest painter, but he's really good. Way better than me and very fast. Although he said I did a great job on the Crimson Court, and he felt that they were better than his. But you know, he does them for play, right? He's not a competition painter. He puts them because he wants them to be painted on the field. And so you know, I'm definitely not a competition painter. I don't plan on it. I know everybody says you'll get better when you do it, but I just don't have it in me. And I think I would go, I like getting through a bunch, and I'm not even fast enough at once to just keep progress and change. And I actually don't mind painting multiples at a time. I mean, that's part of like making batch painting, like to do your army or whatever, which is cool, but I don't know that I'll ever build another army. I have 3 Warhammer armies. I would Warhammer 40K. I would like to do one fantasy one, which is now called Age of Sigmar. But I actually just love the smaller war bands and kill team things, because kill team is like 10 miniatures. And they just changed, so that was one of the things we learned at Spiel, that they were going to be changing Warhammer Underworlds. And that's totally fine with me. I've played it and I like it, but I never played any of them. I never played any of the Beastgrave or, gosh, I never remember. They're both red boxes. I never played any of the new ones. The rule books had just a lot of bloat, I guess. And they now, you know, they would have decks of cards that would for each faction, you know, each war band, and they don't do that anymore. So they're putting out, the good thing is like I probably could have waited. They probably will put the Crimson Court back out, even though I don't think it's completely gone. You can get it for other stuff, but for Warhammer Underworlds, that's what I wanted it for. And I don't even have the cards. And at the time I was like, oh, that's a bummer, you know, because Sebastian bought it for me in German. And if he even got the cards, he might have just gotten the minis. And now I'm like, oh, I don't even need the cards. I just get the new cards. Because I think you use, I think the way it works is that you choose a deck that has a certain type of attribute, and that is how you play now, which is cool, because you don't have to learn. I mean, they'll have decks. There are going to have a variety of decks, but everybody can get them. It's not based on, because part of the issue with Warhammer Underworlds is they would do like a season of these, and then they would stop producing them. And you know, I never wanted all of them. I think I might have bought well, I say never, but I probably bought the first wave everything, and maybe the second wave everything that I could get, for the most part. But I didn't. Gosh, I'm out of paint again. But I kind of dropped the ball during the pandemic. There was so much stuff that I missed out on. I think I missed out on a Lego holiday set, because that's generally I get those for Nikki. She likes that stuff. I don't know how I missed that. And then I might have gotten one of the ones that I missed, you know, like was still available, but I missed the one from probably 2020, would be my guess, was the one I missed. And that's a bummer. I think it was the train set one, which would have been awesome. Or maybe it was a train station. Maybe we have the train set one, I don't know. Let that dry a little bit more. Yep, just starting here. Was snowing about 20 miles north of us for a while. It's been raining here this afternoon. Yeah, so I don't know how long the snow sticks for you in Pennsylvania. We obviously, there was one time when I was young down in the South Bay where I grew up after moving here from Colorado. There was an actual snow that was on the ground for a little while, which was very weird, but that has not happened again. So I want to do the cables on these. She has yellow on her boots and her gloves. She also has like these, wow, hopefully there's another picture. I feel like there's only one of this one. No, so it's white with black lines underneath the little webbing under her arms. But you can see, this is the problem with these assembled minis, right? They come pre-assembled and there's gaps, you know. You can fix that stuff, but because I'm not looking at it in assembly, I don't notice it as much. So I need to figure out, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. These are so massive, and you look at the detail. I mean, you know, they're not comparable, but it would be nice if there was just a little bit more fine detail on these, and I wish they were assembled a little bit better, but you know, they're a softer plastic, so they probably distort. I sure hope we get rain. We have rain in the forecast for the weekend, and we need it. We always need it. But in particular, we could really use it now. Okay, so this is red. She is kind of, I don't know what the deal is with her red. I will definitely mix them up some more. But you can see already the black is just as the black regular paint. It's already drying. It dries so quickly. Now I should have I have my wet palette. I actually reconditioned everything. It's super cleaned up here, except I got some paint on there that I wiped up. And I like using the wet palette a lot, and it's definitely good for standard acrylic paints. I have used it for speed paints, and it's fine, but it doesn't keep the mix gets a little fouled up. Although I've painted many things. I only just got into this last year. Adam told me about it before he put the video out. That I don't know how he found out about this, but these are great ways to have little pots, especially for speed paints and contrast paints. I wish that some of these, Turbo Dork makes one, and I think I'm getting the small one with, I did back Game Envy's Kickstarter, and I think I don't think I got Ninjons. I don't remember, you know, each one had like a special setup for what you would get with it. And I can't remember which one I bought. I think I bought the Turbo Dork one. Because I'm getting like a small rectangular, the first ones they did were like solid silicone. Like they poured it into a mold. Now they're, you know, like this where it's thinner. But it's okay, I really like this. This is $16 and they give you two. One of them's dark gray and one of them is this off-white. On Amazon, this was Johan and John. It's great so far. I do have one, I need to really clean it. I do have one of the little wells that was kind of, like this one's breaking down for some reason. I don't quite understand why. I don't clean it too harshly, but maybe I did on that one. I don't know. But you know, basically $8.50 for one of these. Although who knows? I bought this a year ago, a little over a year ago. It might be more expensive now. I did paint these. I was doing the packs and getting them, working more on these, trying to finish them up. It's pretty neato. We've had wildfires too, David. It's bad. We have, you know, we have had a couple of wet years. This year had a good amount of rain, but we do not get enough. We are in definite trouble you know, the reservoirs, they're like, oh, it's doing pretty good, but they're not really. People forget that the reservoirs need to be refilled every year, essentially. You need to have rain. It's bad. We don't have an actual lawn anymore. We set ours up to with just bark and stuff like that, and arid plants, you know. Hey, I got in here and didn't get it again. Wow. Let's paint that before I miss it. I have a little bit left. But we played pinball, which was awesome. I played the new X-Men, Uncanny X-Men pinball machine, which is sure pretty. Really nice stuff going on. It is brand new though, so it's actually older than the new. They just did a Metallica, a redo of the Metallica that they'd done like 11 years ago. So it supports the new hardware and stuff like that, which is awesome. I did not see that. But the Marvel United, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men looks really cool. I'd love to have one of those, but you know, those are expensive, man. Our Munsters one is fun. I like Turbo Dork, but most of the ones I've tried are nothing like what's advertised. Medium is super nice though. Or Radium is super nice. Yeah, I don't know. I've not bought any Turbo Dork, and they did not have a lot on hand at. I bought a few things. I bought, like I said, this stabilizer. Is that focusing? Yes. But I looked at the store. There was a lot. They didn't have any Vallejo. There is a store here in Pasadena that maybe I'll go to for the holidays here. But I'd like to try the Turbo Dork. I know that none of them are going to look like what it shows on the bottle. There's just no way. It's, you know, like foil, printed on foil. But it would still be cool to get it. Yeah, pinball's fun. We don't. So I use the Stern Insider app, and that is, so it's basically turns you to like video games on your PC, on your pinball machine. So you get achievements for doing specific things or finishing modes and stuff like that. Then they also have badges, which are limited time things that you can get. And they did, Elvira had a bunch of badges recently, and those are fun. Just right at the end of October and into like the 12th of November. Let me see if I can find the app here. But they finally fixed it. Now let's see if I stay logged in here. I bet you I'm logged out. Although it's better. It used to be logged out in the same session. I would go to log in on another machine. Now I'm there theoretically. So the quest page. I don't know what. I missed the Day of the Dead. Got the Godzilla one. 20th to the 26th. That means I have to do 100 million points to get that one. That's Gary Stern. I did the Pinduckin one already, which was 5 different machines. So I have to. Today's the 21st, so I need to try to do that. Get that badge. Those are fun. The Elvira ones are done. They ended on the 12th. Let's see if I can. We'll go to my badges. Oops, sensor's too quick here. Nope. And I'm gonna have to log in again. But the app is way better. It was terrible before. Like it would constantly log out. Trophy room. So that's what they call it now. So these are achievements. Achievements are what you get playing the game, and that they're mostly, I think they're all available. It just depends on your abilities, like how good of a player you are. Some of them are really hard to get. So I have 68 of 133. Wow, 21 of 64 for Avengers. They didn't do that many. 58 of 94 for Bond. 60th. Wow, X-Men. So X-Men's new, but they only have 65 right now. But yeah, like Godzilla, I played that a bunch, but I've only got 37 out of 112. Guardians, the Beatles. So it's fun. I only have a few of Stranger Things. I did not get to play Foo Fighters this last time I visited. I did play Jaws. I love it. We did they have this whole new mode called 8-bit, or I don't remember. It's Jaws the Revenge, and it's basically a video. You're playing the pinball machine, but on the display there is stuff happening. So yeah, these are achievements, but where's the badges? Oof, do that wrong every time. Trophy room. Maybe it's at the bottom of the thing. Because there's badges too that are separate. Oh, there we go. It's a different tab. So yeah, there's all the Elvira. So there were 10 of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Gosh dang it, I'm a knucklehead. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so Scott had told me about those, and then the Halloween one, Bootyful Score. So, but I've gotten some of the John Wick. I have not played that one very much. These are designer ones. I've got John Borg and Brian Eddy. They don't really look like them. I think I have a George Gomez. Yeah, that's the first one I got. He looks not a good illustration of him. But there were some other Elvira ones and stuff too. They're fun. Some of them encourage you to play with others, which is awesome. I think all that's a fun idea and get more people into it. And we go to a local, we have a, wow, I am doing a terrible job on that lock of hair. We have a Korean barbecue place that we will go to occasionally, and they have pinball. The location nearest us has 16 to 18 machines, and then the one in the middle of the valley has 20-something machines, and it's great. The guy buys LEs and pros, and still has premiums and LEs and premiums and pros. So you get to try them all out. We have played a bunch of games at one by, because it's literally about 2 miles away. Radium is actually as it appears. Interesting. Yeah, pinball used to be everywhere. That's true, not anymore. Bowling alleys. Well, so they actually have more. In Dallas, there are many locations. We did in Niagara Falls, went to a bowling alley and played a few days while we were there for the gathering of friends. And that was fun. They only had maybe 10 machines. They had some older ones, and then they had newer ones up in the bar. And it was fun. We went there a couple times because James had asked us about if any of us knew any pinball, and it was hilarious because everybody else in the car is like way into pinball, and he was talking about the Foo Fighters machine and interested in that, and so we took him to that place, and we also took him to I think we actually took him, we might not have taken him to the bowling alley because the bowling alley ended up being closed, and so we went to, that night we went to the one in Buffalo called boy, I can't never remember the name of it. Pocketeer. So it's billiards, and they have like 80-something pinball machines. And he actually had a great time and ended up ordering a machine. So he was moving, and he ordered a machine and had it there when he got. They installed it just after they got there. So he's gotten good at playing pinball, and he had a hard time with the Foo Fighters. He's like, I'm a terrible player, and it's just hard shots. You have to get good at doing it all. And I play it often, but clearly not enough. Where some shots I just can't make them. They're just hard. We played John Wick so they have things called contracts. So you're out, assassinating somebody or whatever. I've never seen any John Wick movies. And there was something available, and I had to do some shot, and I played it so many times, could not make that shot. And I don't think I ended. I got some other of the contracts that night and achievements, but not that one. And there was one I tried to do. I don't remember when it was. We went to the one Korean barbecue place over in the center of the valley, and they had, it was like National Spider Day or something like that, and they had both. That can't be Spider Day, but maybe they had Venom and Deadpool, where you were supposed to get a total of a certain amount of points, I think, on each machine. And I had no idea where I was at. Like, I'm having good games and bad games. I think I needed 500 million points, and I'm just not that good. And I didn't make it. And, I finally was like, I could have been really close. I don't know. They have now changed it so it actually gives you your cumulative score, so you know where you're at, which has been a huge benefit. And, to me, the badges should be to get people into play, and they shouldn't be too hard to get. Achievements is where the skill should matter, and they maybe have changed that. But when so we know Dwight Sullivan, who's a programmer for Stern, and you said, yeah, there's not really, the people that are doing it, they're designing those badges aren't gamers. And I like the ones where you either have to collect something or, just ones that aren't impossible, but if you're willing to spend the time, you can make it happen. And again, you want to draw people into the places. It should be encouraging for the operators, that have the machines. We have another place here called, I don't remember the name of it. It's a comic book store kind of place, and they have like 20 machines. We have not been there. I'd like to go there. We just have not had time. It's, I think, in Silver Lake, which is not that terribly far. And I used to go there all the time because my brother lived in that area, but not anymore. So, oops, can't see it. So let's get some red out. There is a pinball museum in Vegas. We've been to it when it was at the old location. They have a new one now, new location on the Strip. And we also went year and a couple months ago. We've actually been there a couple times, but we went to the Pinball Museum in Seattle, and that was great. They have a mix of old and new machines, and it's basically like most of these. It's a flat fee to play. The Korean barbecue place does not do that. They have 50 cents a play, which is ridiculously cheap, and then 75 cents to play any of the Jersey Jack machines. That's one of the machines I really liked, is the Elton John pinball machine. Really neat. New one that came out in April, I think. Or actually it was debuted at Expo, which is in October, in Chicago. We had hoped that we might get to go one time like this last year. We just could not. We were at Spiel till, we had gone that week. We returned on Monday the 14th or something like that. And the con, that can't be right. I think it was the 11th or something, because I think the con started on the 12th, sort of. And then the weekend was when the event really happens. And but they have tours of the pinball companies, have a lot of, a lot of them, there's not that many left, but have the factories there. And so they have factory tours, which would have been awesome. Dwight teases us that we don't want to come. And we're like, we do. We just need to figure out how to go and see it all. But it would be fun to go to that event. Texas Pinball Festival is the one we do go to, and that one is in March, and it's great. K barbecue must be nice. It is great. Places there are mostly like bars if they got it, yeah, and they have virtual machines. I've only played a virtual machine once. A friend of ours has one, and it was pretty awesome. And I would love to have one, but I don't know. It's weird. They're not terribly, they're actually probably cheaper than buying a pinball machine if you get a pretty decent one. Because pinball machines start at $7,000 pretty much now. They did announce the new Evil Dead pinball machine coming from Spooky. Spooky does those kinds of, the one that I really liked last year that I would love to buy, but it's just not realistic, is the Looney Tunes. So they did, I think this is the last year they're going to do it, but they did 2 machines with the same mechs, basically, but programmed with 2 different teams of programmers. So they did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is crazy. It had the art of, gosh, I don't remember his name. He did stuff for our friend Chris Zeffro for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre board game. And so that was pretty cool. But the other machine that was the one I wanted was Looney Tunes. Same mechs, basically, but I mean, it really is. They just, what they do is the same, but they might be completely different. One of them, I think, was like a meat grinder for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And then the other one was like a rocket or something on the Looney Tunes. I really wish I could play. They had one at the, they may still have it at the Korean barbecue place, but it was always so loud. And it's not even that many people necessarily playing. We've been in there when it's busy, but I would love to hear the Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes. Those are some of my favorite animated stuff. But, well, I got too many things close to where my elbows need to go here. Let me move all that stuff. But, and when we played it, because it was at Texas Pinball Fest last year, it was so noisy I couldn't hear any of it. So, oh, no, that was this year, not last year. It was in April. The year before was Scooby-Doo. We couldn't hear that either. And we played the Elton John this year, that's a great machine. The highest end one that's $15,000 has a laser light show topper on it that is just the greatest. So neat looking. Really, really fun. But they take a lot of space. That's where I think the virtual machines have a lot of, if you don't have to, because they have haptic feedback and stuff like that. So you could get pretty close to a pinball experience. And one of the things I saw was somebody had hooked a Kinect, Microsoft Xbox Kinect, to the pinball machine, and it would, when your head moved around, it would do the parallax, vision of the play field based on where your head was at. So you could sort of look around. I mean, you could look around devices sort of based on where you're at. That's really awesome. Gosh, I'm making a mess. I keep doing it with this paint too. Whatever it is, this red, it just looks like I'm murdering these minis. Which would be awesome to have that, but I don't think anybody, it was like somebody just doing a proof of concept kind of a thing. I remember talking to Tim Schafer about it, because MAME lets you, they don't want you to do it, but you can bring back the games and play them basically how they were. And then Misters actually replicate the hardware. But they don't have that for pinball, but they sort of do now with the virtual machines. If they went with that, it'd be pretty awesome. I mean, I had played, gosh, in the 90s? I guess it would have been 95, around the time of Windows 95 maybe. They had a pinball machine from Maxis, and they're called Space Cadet. And they did, that was one of the games, one of the play fields they had, plus I think they had 2 or 3 more if you bought the actual purchasable game, which I did. And they were great. And then they had a version 2 that had even more amazing, and this is all, 30 years ago, 29 years ago. So they're doing a pretty good job with the physics and everything. So the new ones are pretty phenomenal. But I have not played, I would love to try some of those, but I have not played. And then the other cool thing is there's pinball machines that people design that they've never been physically produced. It's like somebody that's a designer, and they sell them, and it's cool. Like in indie kind of stuff. They're neat idea. But man, that X-Men sure is cool. Lots of kind of custom new ideas for the stuff. And that one was designed by the same guy who did the Foo Fighters one. And that had a lot of cool ideas in it too. He's a newer designer. He's done essentially 3 machines for Stern, I guess. He did which I guess is at Costco right now. A lot of Costco's have the Jurassic Park Home Edition, which, they're not cheap. I think those are like $4,000. And, they're generally the same stuff, but the playfield isn't solid plywood and things like that. I've not yet seen one. I really want to see one. But supposedly that Jurassic Park was pretty good. The real one's great too. Well, I think there's been more than one, but the one that came out a few years back. So yeah, these minis. So as I say, I saved the paint, the photos of the paint jobs, but these, at the time, they only ever painted. They only ever showed you basically the front. They'd have multiple angles of the front, which was no help for, you have to use your imagination on the backside. But the new ones, starting with the X-Men wave, have front and back photos, which is really helpful. Again, I don't think anybody's going to really give you too much guff if you don't have it look exactly like Marvel has them looking. I don't, they've all changed over time too, so you can do whatever you want. You can do Wolverine with the black and the yellow, or the black and the blue if you want. I have not painted a Wolverine yet, so I don't think, can't remember if it was, I don't think I did. It was not in the main box, I believe, which is the only X-Men stuff I've painted so far. Oof, I just got that on the boot. So let me try to clean that up. Ugh. I'm being too speedy here. Now I can paint the yellow, or the gray, and it'll be cleared up, but I probably need to anyway, because yellow and the red will become like a yellow, and pink gives you a brown, and so the yellow and the red, since it's kind of pinkish, will probably give me brown, which I don't want it as the shade, although isn't necessarily a bad choice. Head getting in the way. we were trying to watch, we watched several of the episodes of Interior Chinatown, which is a new series on Hulu, starring, starring people that don't really know comics and stuff, but it's produced, the first episode was directed by Taika Waititi, which was pretty cool. I was kind of losing. Binging is not necessarily the way to go on that stuff. And I was kind of lost in what they were trying to really tell it, do. I mean, I have ideas of what they're doing, but I feel like they're going to want to continue with more episodes, so I think I'm going to be left disappointed at the end. And having to wait for another season. I've noticed on the new DC United, DC Heroes United, I think is what they call it, they have not really put out many pictures of the painted minis. There's some, and they do have a book on how to paint, but I'm pretty certain they won't have all the minis in there. At least I don't think so. So I'm kind of bummed. Okay. The red looks pretty cool though. I mean, this is a single pigment color, so it's not going to have any great shading, but it's not super intense, right? It's going to be hard when it's not really white underneath it, but it looks pretty good. We did watch the Agatha, it was Agatha All Along, whatever. That was pretty good. It was like a challenge of the week thing, which I thought was a little frustrating, but whatever. I'm hoping that they do something more with some of that stuff. That was fun. It was neat to see some of those actors and actresses. I really like Aubrey Plaza, she's crazy. And I think Catherine Hahn is great. I really liked her character when it was on, when she was on WandaVision. And I thought WandaVision was pretty good too, considering that was like the first Marvel TV show. I thought they did a nice job. They announced, Deborah posted, I mean, I knew it was coming before, but that the new series of Daredevil is going to be in March. I don't know when they're filming the next season. At D23 they said soon, which soon means a lot of things. Oy vey, I wish I could see more of this. It's just a couple. I have not painted her skin, which is a mistake. People are asking that I do name the colors. This one is ball red. This is the contrast. The red contrast paint that came out in the second wave. I didn't feel like they had a great, I mean, they actually had some good reds that were well done, but they weren't quite red enough. Hey, CL3VER, thanks for the follow. I'm getting close to the end of the stream. I will call my mom in about 20 minutes, and that'll be the end. And you know, I actually used, so these are the two reds that came out with the first wave, and they're, you'd think they don't really look that different. I mean, you can see they're slightly different. This one's warmer, this one's cooler. They were both great. If you thinned them down, they were pretty, you know, not thin them down, but use the contrast medium, they turned out pretty good. But this is just insanely bright red, and this is what I want for a lot of things. I mean, for me, that's what the comic stuff is. So there's yellow in here too. I need to do the gloves and the boots. My head is getting in the way. I should, there's a way you can put the camera over your shoulder, and that's reasonable, but I don't feel like I'm gonna do as well doing it that way. So you can see I have red here on her boot, and I'm gonna wanna cover that up. So let me get, let's just show you how that works. Goodness gracious, phone clicking a lot. I don't understand. Do not disturb is not working properly on this phone. That's Scott. Okay. So the yellow, I have a lot of yellows now. Initially there was I think only this one. There might have been one other one. And this looks orange, right? But when you thinned it or reduce the intensity with technical medium, it came out pretty good. But it looks very orange. They introduced 3 others with the second wave. And I think I'm going to use this one. This seems like this is the Bad Moon Yellow. I feel that it's almost identical to the other red. You know, the red has a single pigment situation going on there. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, I was going to do gray. Flesh Terror is red. Yeah, it's pretty great. The colors. Well, they changed all their colors to be more, you know, copyrightable, I think is really what it comes down to. And the Flesh Terrors, I think, were some sort of a... I mean, I really don't know the lore that much. I've only ever really paid attention to the ones that I was... Because I'm not a crazy player, and I don't need to know the other factions if I'm not playing it, really. I mean, I have played full-on... Games Workshop stuff, and I really enjoyed, like I said, I enjoyed the I don't think there's a mixing ball in here. There is not. We're going to add one. It's been open too. I wonder why I didn't put one in. So I use one of these because I will tell you I have spilled paints too many times now. These are from GW. They're not that old. I looked at the copyright date on one and I was like, wow, I don't understand, you know, like, it feels like these are, wow, this has a lot of red in the brush, which I don't want. So I will clean it a little bit before we go. I would like to, so I've used a few of the Vallejo Express colors. That's what they call their speed paint, contrast paint equivalent. And it was fine. The new one, actually I say that I tried one, but I actually tried 2. There was a yellow, I think that was one of the new ones, that was great, yellow-orange. And I was gonna try to buy it, but I ended up using the yellow and the red and mixing my own and getting basically that color. So I don't think, you see at least a little bit of a pink. There's that, how much color was in there. So the way I do it, I was watching some videos a couple weeks back, and I do it where I'm pulling it across my palm, you know, and spinning it to pull out the pigment, and it does a pretty good job. I mean, this is what I was taught when I was in high school from my art teacher, that method to cleaning your brushes. He was actually, Mr. Williams was pretty great about care for your equipment. Okay, I think I'm just going to pull it out of the bottle since I don't need a lot of it. This may not be the color we want. It's okay. And this isn't, no, yellow. Yellow's hard. This isn't reduced in intensity at all. Looks like she has black edging on the gloves here too. So I don't have to be too cautious, because I can touch that black and fix any kind of mistakes. Yeah, I don't know. I might go with the other yellow, the slightly, what was that one called? Imperial Fists. That is a faction, Space Marine faction. Wow, I'm trying to break things. Elbows flying around. Focus. Now I should have been painting the red on the other one. I did not, but it's okay. It's not like it's any kind of special formulation or anything going so far. I'm just using the colors as they come out of the pot, which is, I think, what, you know, mostly what Workshop promotes. I mean, you know, the reality is when I first bought these, I was disappointed with the flesh tone color that they had, and then I realized that, oh, I need to be using the the contrast medium to get a lighter tone. And I mean, I've showed it many times on the stream. I've done dark flesh to light flesh many times with that same color, and it's great. So one of the things, I didn't paint her boot. What am I doing? One of the things you can do, which Scott was doing on the faces, is he just would paint them white before putting down the wow, that is bright in the water, the flesh tone. And it's a completely valid way to do it. I have done it. I don't think I have anything in here. Let's see. I have a really not great one. Here you go. Her skin is just, it's okay. I don't know if this is the best one, but I painted her white, and it's too, you can't see it. It's too, you can see the brush strokes. It's just too thick. Needs to be layered up. You don't necessarily need to, you don't need to spend a ton of effort to get it there. I'm eager to get into, I really kind of want to get into the Marvel United, multiverse ones, because, wow, this paint is kind of drying up. Because they have lots of color, like translucent colored components, and I want to experiment with those. I don't think there were any in the main. I think there's some in the X-Men sets, but they really went crazy with it in the multiverse ones. I believe, like, Dark Phoenix used it in the first. I don't know if I have a mixing ball in here. Dark Phoenix did it in the X-Men one. I don't remember for sure though. Suppose I could look. Let's go look. X-Men. Wow, why are these not by name? Now, actually, I'm looking at this, and it may not be the way to look at them. I think it is. She's got, it's all painted on this one. Now, you know, these were 3D printed for the campaign. But I do look forward to trying that stuff out and seeing how it works. I do want to get through the X-Men too, because a lot of people love the X-Men stuff, so. So you have to wait a little while for it to dry, for it to not, I've had it like make the next coat go chalky because it wasn't dry enough. We went to a very good barbecue place in downtown Dallas called Terry Black's, and I believe it is the same family, or you know, one of the children or whatever of the Black's barbecue. Well, I don't know if I like that color. I feel like it's a little too straight yellow, so we're gonna add, we may just do it this way with the next batch. We're gonna go to this Imperial Fist yellow. This one is just too yellow, and I think a little warmth might, maybe I will thin it down a little bit to just affect the color slightly. So to do that, I will get some in the palette. Now here's the funny thing, I didn't paint the boots, right? So we should pull that yellow out because I may be doing two colors to make that work. I'm running low on the contrast medium. I need to get another bottle. And I had left one open, so the previous bottle, it's kind of thickened up, and I've added water to it, and it makes things shiny, so I pretty much should just toss it now at this point. Okay. That looks a little better. It's bright. So let's paint the gloves on her, on the other one, just with this color straight. Now it's not necessarily the same intensity because the white is probably not the same, the gray, the zenithal highlight, but wow, not in focus. I need to get her out of shot. Wow, she keeps going out of focus here. Looks pretty good. I actually like it in the not so bright mode there is fine. This one is a little lighter, so it's more pronounced, but it looks good. Gotta do the boots. Cool. Okay. Yeah, the orange definitely helps a little bit. It's a weird color. This is this one here, Bad Moon Yellow. I feel it's too strong. Still bright on her. I think this one might be, the subdued quality is probably a little better. Now let me see if I can paint some red on her before I stop. What time is it? It is almost 8. My phone will be going off in a minute. I should kind of wrap it up. There we go. That's the call mom message here. Let me snooze that. I'll give myself 10 more minutes. And then I better go. So yeah, I'm not sure what we're gonna do. We'll probably stream, I'll probably stream another paint night next Tuesday morning, because I'm certain that Nikki's gonna need time to prepare for Thanksgiving. I am looking forward to, I just got it on her nose. Boo to that. I'm looking forward to Thanksgiving though. Ugh. What is going on with the phone? I just got on her nose again. Now this is, you'd say, I was saying I paint her face first, but maybe not. That's terrible. Do I celebrate Christmas? We sure do. I'm looking forward to that too. I don't know what's going to happen. My mom used to do Greek. She's not Greek. My dad was. And so she got really good at cooking Greek dishes. But she's just getting, you know, it's harder to do all that stuff. So I don't know that she's going to have the energy to do it. Now, one of these times, and maybe this is the year, Nikki did it once, but I should do it with her as well. Just go over and do it. I'm not sure. You know, we do stuff with Nikki's parents as well. Nikki's Nikki's family is Catholic, and so they do a lot of stuff at the Christmas time. But we used to do, back when we first met, we used to go to one parent's and then the others. Sometimes Christmas Eve at one and Christmas Day at the other, and then it was sometimes splitting the day, which was no fun. Then we started to do Christmas. The families would get together and do that. It was a big deal to my dad. He loved Christmas, and so him not being around is definitely a challenge for us. I don't know. I don't know if I'm getting tired or what, but I'm doing a much sloppier job on this one. So I'll go a little bit longer here. I'm going to need to I want to touch up her face before I wrap it up for the day, because I want it to dry very, very well before I paint the flesh tone. I get sloppy here. Thank goodness it's going to be a black line between all this stuff, but really sloppy. Sloppy. Ten minutes. Okay. Terrible job on that red. I don't know what's going on. Let me do a little tiny bit of water so I can get this little spot in here. It's getting thick, which is not, it's kind of odd. Usually it kind of gels. Okay, I want to paint her nose. Clean the water out here. I'm doing a terrible job here. Actually, I should put this on the wet palette. Yipes. Now I can always paint that red, and I think I will, because I kind of went back up on the mask there. Okay, and I can touch it up. Looks pretty good. It doesn't look too, it looks smooth, other than getting back onto the mask. Well, let me get back to this, and the wrong thing. There we go. Well, there you go. Have a great weekend. Let's see if we can raid somebody. Let me close these bottles because I have done that before. Eager to get out. I am hungry for dinner. Now, neither of these had, I think that one has a glass ball in it, but I think the yellow does not. Neither of the yellows did. I'll be back for sure. I'm pretty certain it'll just be me on Tuesday. But you never know. Keep an eye on the schedule. Also keep an eye out for a potential live stream, a day long, you know, probably from noon to 10 or something like that, live stream with hopefully other folks. We're going to try to get that to come together. I'm sure we'll put something up on BGG about it. Let's look at Twitch here. I don't think what is that? Oh, that's that. Okay, let's go to Twitch. Let's see. Am I not on the creator dashboard? Stream manager. Let's see who's out there. I hope it'd be Wapelius. I really love his paint. I mean, he's an amazing painter. Way, way better than me. And he does, I think, everything with oil paints, but I don't see him. Let me look. Wow, it is not coming up. Do I have that misspelled? See, I don't get it. Nope. Maybe he's not on here anymore. Yeah, nothing. I don't understand what's going on with this. Let me just see who's streaming. Kind of a bummer. And he's really a sweet guy and does an amazing job and explains getting his colors. RPG, lots of video games. I almost feel like Bonds should be on here. I know she was going to, well, she thought she was going to stream. I did not, oh no, she told me. I actually should have just made it so that, let me think here. B-A-N, why is it not typing? There we go. Bonzinator's streaming, so we'll go to Bonds. She's playing, oh yeah, a solo of Explorers of Navoria. So say hello for me. Gosh, she's got some people watching, so say hello and let her know that I wish her well. And you, if you want to join in, click on through. This is for the Twitch people, and 7 people are doing it. That's cool. So go ahead and click on through if you want to. Thank you so much for joining me. Thanks for the chat, and I will chat with you all later. Take care. Bye. Okay, YouTube folks, thank you for joining us. Sorry we can't raid. It's pretty awesome. That's a neat Twitch thing. And thanks for all the chatting and everything else. We have not set up our tree yet, Circe. We are looking forward to that. Take care, everybody. Have a great one. Have a great weekend. Bye, everybody. Take care.